Yeah.
So we are going to be recording today's session for the purpose of being able to use this tool as a resource for individuals who were not able to make it or who have an interest in learning this, to be able to share this down the road. My name is Jessica Roerson, and I'm with the Indigenous Business Development Program in partnership with Sage Hill. And I have been assisting with these webinars for over a year now. And today we have Josie LaChance here. She's from Rostern. I also live in Rostern. And so she's an expert in the field of social media and marketing, and has some experience as well in web development, a great resource for our community. She's currently on maternity leave from her full-time job at the Station Arts in Rostern. Before we get started, I'm just going to say, as we gather here today, we acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects to the First Nation and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationships with one another. So, Jenny, do you want to just introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jenny Glessman, and I'm with the Sage Hill Community Futures Office, and we are excited about today's session. This is our last one before Christmas, and then we'll start again in the new year, and we've got a whole set of workshops starting in the new year, and we'll talk about those at the end. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Josie. Now, I didn't ask her for questions. We'll monitor the chat. If you've got questions, just let us know, and we'll probably answer them as we go, or did you want them at the end?
Sure, I think we can answer them as we go. That's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thank you both for having me here today. My name is Josie LaChance, and yes, I am currently on maternity leave, so there's a little bit of a switch up. I have a 12-week-old baby at home, and so but this is good. Gives me something different to focus my time, and so I'm really excited about it. I just want to start off by asking you guys, I know Maureen kind of talked a little bit about her business, but I'm just curious as to what all of your businesses are, and just what you hope to get out of today's session. And also, if you have an Instagram, or if you're familiar with Instagram, you can mention that too. But maybe Wendy, we can start with you.
Unmute. I own the House of Stitches in Humboldt, and so we sell fabric, yarn, sewing machines. We do classes. We do workshops in shop finally a little bit, but we're still doing them virtually because people prefer. We run a big sewing conference at St. Peter's Abbey every March, end of May, beginning of June. That involves about 250 people that we haven't had to have for the last 2 years. Last year we did it virtually, so we're hoping to be in person and virtual this year. I know a little bit about Facebook, and it just makes me mad. And I also know just a very tiny bit about Instagram, only because sometimes when I do things on Facebook, it goes on Instagram. So I don't really know how to use Instagram very good. So that's my goal for today.
It sounds like you do a lot of online things already, like you do the virtual classes. Is that you who runs that part?
I do some, which is like 100 times more work than doing it in person. And I also hire out to other teachers that I know that are doing it. So we don't do it all from here. Okay.
No, that sounds good. That's great. We're going to cover lots of those things today, so that's perfect. Bernadette, are you there?
Hi, yeah, I'm here. So yeah, I do promotions on my Facebook page, my business page. I'm a Morning Star Counseling Services, and but I'm not very good at promoting stuff. So that's why I'm here. And again, I don't know nothing about Instagram. I probably have 2 things on my Instagram, which I'm not, yeah, I have no clue how to do it or anything like that. So Instagram, I'm still, yeah. And I don't know, I put it on pause because I don't know nothing about it. So that's why. Okay.
Okay, that's good. No, that's great. Thanks so much. Marie? I don't know if she's there right now, but I see we just had 2 new people join. We're just right now, I'm just asking everybody what their business is and if they have an Instagram account or if they're familiar with Instagram. Maybe Kate, do you want to tell us a little bit about you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Morris. I reside in Regina, Saskatchewan, and am a band member of George Gordon First Nation, and I own a consulting business, but I actually really struggle with social media and marketing and those types of things. So I just want to learn a little bit about what Instagram is, because that's what all the young cool kids are talking about. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And Terry?
Hi, I am also involved with Community Futures as the development officer, business development officer out here in New Sask, and I'm not familiar with Instagram. So I'd just like to gain some information today from the session.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, I'll just kind of jump right into it. Instagram is mostly a platform you use from your mobile device. You can use it from your computer, but it is a little bit tricky and very limiting. So it was a little bit difficult to try to come up with something super interactive. So I did put together a little PowerPoint, and then I'll switch back and forth between the Instagram on the browser. But just keep in mind that it is easier to use from your phone when you download the app. That's just going to be the most convenient way. But if you are just looking to post sort of a photo on your timeline, you can use your computer, and that might be the easiest way to start. So I'll just gonna share my screen here. And let's see, just disregard my dirty desktop. Sorry, give me a second. Something happened. Sorry about this. There we go. My computer is just having a mind of its own right now. So let me know if you can see this all. Just let me know when you, on your screen? Good. All right.
Sure can.
Great. So I'm just going to start with the basics. And like we said at the beginning of the webinar, if you have any questions at any time, just feel free to jump in and ask as we go along. We can also answer questions at the end too. That's fine. So the basics of Instagram. What is Instagram? It is a photo and video platform for individuals and businesses. It's a great way to grow and market your business for free. Notice the little asterisk there. I'll mention that a little bit later. And it's a place for us to be interactive with our customers, potential customers, like-minded business owners, and local businesses from your community. I think that is one of the best things about Instagram is it allows us to find businesses in our area that we wouldn't maybe know about, and connect with like-minded business owners, as well as just reach new people if done correctly. So just to kind of go over the basics, there are 3 most important features about Instagram, and those are your timeline posts. So that's the post that you would see. That's where you would post a photo and it's visible on your timeline for your followers, and it stays up there permanently. Sometimes in a post, you can have about 10 photos or one video. Then there's also the stories, which I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with, but this is sort of newer part to Instagram. This is where there's just short little clips that people have posted that are only available for 24 hours. And then they're archived, then they're gone, and they're not on your page permanently. And then another new thing that Instagram just released is Reels. And I'm not going to get into that too much at all today. Actually, I'm not going to talk about it at all. But I just wanted you to know that it's there. And that's where you can have video clips or numerous photos kind of strung together with music to create a short clip. It's a clever way and a different way to market your business, but definitely not something that you need to focus on if you're just getting started. So we'll start with your Instagram profile. That's probably obviously the most important thing, is just getting that set up and going. So I think there was a few of you that said you did have a profile started, but maybe you don't use it or don't know. You don't use it maybe in the way that it's intended to. So I'm just going to show you, this is kind of, I've taken my business Instagram just to show you, and I've taken a screenshot. So on the left is the desktop view of our Instagram page, and on the right is the mobile view. So you can see that they're just a little bit different. And I just wanted to show you that, just because it can throw some people off when you go on your mobile phone, and it is a little bit different than the desktop version. The key things to notice are that you want it to be as simple as possible. And those are kind of the things that I'll stress throughout this entire webinar, is that simple is good, and being consistent is good, and being you and just, you know, being authentic on here, that's what people are looking for. And so I just wanted to show you kind of, this is what I'm talking about when I talk about our profile page. So I'll just kind of move on from there. So these are the most important things when you're creating your page that are often overlooked. When you create your handle or your account name that people will search you by, or they'll see your post by, sometimes it's overlooked, because you might, if your business is a coffee shop and say you're called Java Cup, well, I might not know exactly where you are. And so it might be more beneficial to put Java Cup Rostern. Just like for House of Stitches, you might want to put House of Stitches Humboldt in your Instagram handle name, just because people will see that more, and then they'll associate your store with your town and kind of make it easier for them to find, or say, hey, let's go to Humboldt. I saw this really cool place on Instagram. Just kind of makes it a little bit easier. Just depends on what you're going for and what your goals are, I guess, on your Instagram account. I think it's important that, I'll just go back here because I'm talking about our bio, and I'm saying, you know, like, let's make it interactive. You can change it. This is the first thing people see when they visit your Instagram page. So if I just go back here, you'll see here it says we're a landscape company. We're locally owned and operated. We've put our names in there so people know exactly who it is. We're a small business. And so as small business owners, you know, we are our brand. And I think that's something important to us, because we do like to connect with the community, and we like people to see our faces and say, hey, you know, they associate us with our business. And then they've just kind of listed a few things that we do. So skid steer services, landscaping, hauling, snow removal, concrete. Super simple, super easy. You can throw in an emoji in there if you wanted, you know, like a tractor or whatever that suits your business. But just something that is very clear to people when they go onto your profile page exactly what it is that you do, because this is the first thing they see when they visit your profile page. Again, it doesn't have to be complicated. You'll see on the view on the right, the mobile view, it will show roster in Saskatchewan. So it actually, on the mobile view, I could click that and it'll show me exactly where my business is. So that's kind of one of the differences that you'll notice there. And then also on the mobile view, it gives you an instant button to contact. So if I were to hit that contact button on my phone, it would pop up with our phone number and you'd be directly connected to that. So you could instantly phone me right off of Instagram. So yeah, those are kind of just a few little differences, obviously, with the mobile and the desktop view, just so you're kind of aware. But it is important when you are creating your profile that you go through all of the steps, step by step on Instagram, just because it's really easy to set up your account if you follow those steps, and they'll walk you through all of that. It's hard for me to walk you through that on here just because it is all on your mobile device. But that's basically your profile page. If you have a website or a shop link, you can include that in your profile. So basically someone can click the link right on your profile and it'll take them directly to your store if you have an online store or a website. And like I said before, we have Rostern as our location, so you could also add your business address in there. Just wanting to make your profile as complete as possible. This way, when people go there, they know exactly what you're doing, exactly how to contact you, and exactly what you offer. This way, if you don't always update your Instagram, every week, or every month even, people will have all of the information that they need to get in contact with you. Another important thing is your profile photo or your icon photo. So I'll just peek back to here. You'll see up in the top corner in this circle here, we've chose to use our logo. That's just how most people, identify our business. You could also use your face if that's kind of your brand, or you could use your a photo of the outside of your shop if you have a shop. Those are sort of things that help you to create your brand, and just making sure that everything is cohesive so that when they see that logo or when they see your Instagram tag, that they know that that's your business. I'm gonna put back here. So I guess a big thing is, what is the goal of your Instagram? What are you looking to get out of being on Instagram? Some people specifically want to sell products on Instagram. And if you want to sell your products right on Instagram, then you want to think about making sure you have an online platform set up where followers can go to purchase products instantly. And if you can't do that, but you still want to sell products, then I think it's important to just be available in your direct messages where people can message you and say, hey, I saw that you had some tomato plants for sale. How can I buy these? And then you can, talk to them one-on-one in the direct messages, which I can kind of explain a little bit more as we go on, but just being available. So it just depends what your goals are. Some people just want to find new customers. So this is a great way to do that. You just have to dedicate your time to search for and follow new people. And it's just a good way to connect with existing customers as well. So I'm just going to keep going over here. Okay, so these are my 3 things that I think are really important with Instagram. Is be consistent. When you're posting, make sure you're using the same language, make sure you're, using the same filters or format or whatever it is, because this is your brand that you are putting out, and you want it to be consistent with everything that you're doing. So Facebook, with your website, you want it all to kind of be transparent. It's important to create engaging content. I don't know, like if you guys are on Facebook, for example, it's nice when you do a post and people comment on your post, right? When you run a business. So it's kind of the same thing with Instagram. When people comment on your post or are more engaged or more interactive on your photo that you've posted, more people are going to see your post. It's just how the algorithms work. I can't explain it. So you want it to be engaging. So I find if I use emojis or ask a question, sometimes I'm more likely to get someone to comment on my post. Again, we, like as small business owners, we are the brand. And so you definitely want to just be yourself on Instagram and be relatable. People are interested in more than just your products. They are also interested in you. And I think that's a really important thing to take forward as you create your Instagram and think about all of that. So I'm just going to go over sort of like the lingo of Instagram here, just so everybody's kind of on the same page. So again, we talked about the difference between your timeline posts and your stories. And I'm going to show you exactly how you know what is what here on the next slide. So here is the Instagram feed. And I know if you started your Instagram, this is probably what you would log on and you would see this and kind of maybe become overwhelmed. There's so many buttons, there's so many things happening. But it's important to know that everything serves a purpose, and it is actually quite easy once you spend some time kind of on your Instagram feed. So when you log on, this is what you'll see when you open it up on your app, on your cell phone. You'll see up here in the top right-hand corner, this is how you make a post. These are your notifications. And then this is your direct messages that I talked about before. Wendy wants to buy, some tomato plants. So she's messaged Maureen to ask her, and that's how Maureen would see the messages that were coming in. Here is where your stories would be posted. So again, those are just short little clips that you could post, or a picture that you can post that only stays up for 24 hours. This is useful if you're maybe doing like a quick sale, or if you're, a restaurant or something where you have a daily special. So you could say, hey, today is, 10% off in our shop. So that only stays up for 24 hours. So people aren't seeing it 2 weeks later and saying, hey, well, I saw on Instagram you had 10% off. That's only in your stories, and it's only for 24 hours. So here you'll see the little lit up circle. That means that I have a story. So I can click on here and I can watch it on my phone. And then I can go and see all of the other people that I follow that have stories active and live right now. So you'll see I follow Wilson's Lifestyle, a Not Bad Brew Co., Impression Salon, and Marissa F. Financial. So they all have stories posted, and that's how you can see and watch them. As you keep going down your Instagram feed, you'll then see here, Impressions 306. So that's Impression Salon. They've posted, here's their picture that they've posted on their feed. And if I want to like it or interact with their post in any way, I can do it down here. You'll see there's another heart. So if I click on the heart, that'll like their image. If I click on the little message, that will mean I can put a comment right on their image and interact with them that way. Or this little sort of paper airplane icon, I can click that, and that means I'll directly message Impression Salon. So I'm like, I will see that they posted this here. It's Little Puri's handmade silicone beads and accessories. Maybe I'm interested in that product. So I'm going to click on the little paper airplane and say, hey, Impressions, I saw that you now carry this product. How can I purchase it? Or what do you have in stock right now? And you can I can communicate with the original poster that way. So I think it's important with Instagram to remember that it is an interactive platform. It's not something that you just kind of throw something up and then never look at it again. You want to put up an image or on your feed or something in your story that will have people interact with you. Any questions so far? I feel like I'm kind of talking really fast. I just want to get to the more exciting parts about how we actually post on Instagram, but there's just a lot to cover. So any questions so far?
No, it's very good.
All right, so creating your first timeline post. I'm going to walk you through creating a post on your feed. I'm just going to see here. Just a few things to note before we do that. I think it's important to think, what is the goal of the post? Why am I posting this image to my profile that's going to stay here permanently? You know, what do I want to get from that? Do I want people to comment? Do I want them to know I'm having a sale? Do I just want to connect with people? You know, it's important when you go to make your post to have your photos and your caption kind of ready, and consider including fun things like hashtags and emojis where appropriate. And I think at this stage, with everybody just kind of getting their Instagram started, you don't necessarily have to worry about hashtags or anything like that at this point. I think it's just important to make sure you have a good caption, maybe with an emoji or two, to make it a little bit more interactive, and a good, you know, photo or image. So I'm just going to pop over to, oops, Instagram. Sorry, I have to. All right. Okay, so when I go on my desktop, here you'll see, this is what you would log on to, what your Facebook would look like. This is your feed on Facebook. So I want to post my first post, or maybe a post, maybe we've already posted something before. Up here in the right-hand corner, you can see the little circle with my logo in it. That's how I get to my profile. I'm going to move all the way over here to the plus sign, and I'm just going to create a new post. So I clicked that. I'm going to select some images from my computer that I already know are there. I've kind of put them together, and I know exactly what I'm going to post. There we go. Okay, so I'm actually going to put two images on my post together. So all you have to do then is, when you are creating your post, just select two images instead of one. You can select up to 10 images, like I said before. Here is a job that we did this summer. This is what it looked like after, and 4 images this. So I think that the first image is a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So I want that to be my first post. Plus, I want people to see what it looked like beforehand. And to get them to do that, they'll have to swipe, which is kind of engaging them to be interactive on my post. So I'm kind of trying to think a little bit clever about how I post my images. So I've got my 2 images here, and then I'm just going to hit next because they're both uploaded. This is where, again, you don't have to get too crazy into this. It'll give you the options to put filters on your photos, or to adjust any sort of brightness, things like that. Definitely don't worry about that. Get yourself comfortable with the platform and just posting images and getting your content out there before, you know, really hopping into feeling like you have to know exactly how to edit your photo and do all of these things that aren't necessarily necessary. So I've gone through, now it's going to ask me to write my caption. I've already got my caption here, I'm just going to copy it. Just made this easy for myself. So I've got my caption, I've copied it in, and I tried to make it a little bit engaging. I said, a concrete removal job we completed this summer, swipe for the before. So this is the photo they'll see with the caption, and if they want to see what it looked like before we did the work, they just have to swipe to the right on their phone. Then I tried to make it a little bit more interactive again by saying, you know, kind of, did you know we do concrete removals? Removing old concrete is a great way to make your property look more attractive. Our customer wanted us to remove the old and broken concrete from her property to make it more attractive for a potential buyer. So I've added some emojis. I've also added some hashtags, which are just basically location hashtags, which I can get into further if you guys want to know more about that. But right now, I'll just kind of leave it at that. But definitely not necessary to put on your Instagram post right now. I am going to add a location. I'm just going to start typing Rostern because that's where we did the job. And there we go. That's pretty much the basics for getting a photo up onto your timeline. So now I'm just going to hit share and wait for it to upload. And I'm going to go to my profile over here, the top right corner. And refresh. And there it is. We see the new post right here. And then I can click on it and you can see exactly what I wrote. The location up here has been tagged. And now I'm just waiting for people to see it and like it and hopefully comment on it saying, great job, or I want to hire you, or something like that. I will note that the importance of tagging your location. So here, because it's a business account, you know, it's a public account, it's not my private account. If I tag the location, people can then actually search on Instagram by location. So now I'm seeing all of the posts where people tagged Rostern. We have a corn maze here, as you can tell, and an ice cream shop. You can see what kind of people are up to here in our area. That is kind of the gist of posting your first photo to your feed. Does anybody have any questions about that whole process? I know I kind of went fast, so I hope it made sense. Yeah, good to go? All right. Okay, so now to complicate things a little bit further, we also have our stories. And, you know, I wouldn't normally touch on too many things in something like this, but I think that posting in your story is just as important as it is to post on your feed. Lots of people just go on Instagram, watch all of their stories from people they follow, and then maybe don't look at their feed. It's a quick way for people to just see what's happening with their friends or with their businesses that they follow. I know lots of times I'll go on Instagram and I'll watch my stories and I'll see one of my favorite restaurants in Saskatoon has a really good special today, so that's where we're going for lunch. So it is very effective that way. You just have to sort of make it engaging. So here is, again, the mobile view of my Instagram profile that I've shown you guys already. The one on the left is my profile without a story posted. The one on the right is the one where I have a story posted. And the reason I know that is because my circle icon here on the right image is all lit up. That means I have a story, it's active, people can watch it, it's there for 24 hours from when I posted it. When we logged on to our Instagram feed, I had showed you all of those stories that were available for me to watch at the top of my feed. So here they are again, just kind of showing you what they look like at the top of your feed. This plus sign here is what you would use to create your story. So it's the same thing, the same way that you would create a post on your mobile device. It's all through that plus sign. So it'll just ask you if you want to post a photo or if you want to post a story. So that's kind of the difference. But those are the two features that you would really need to use on Instagram to kind of have a successful Instagram business page. I'm going to go to this next slide here. When you're creating your stories, again, it's the same sort of model as the photos. Keep it simple. Don't overload your stories. It could be something as simple as you walking into your shop and turning the lights on, and all you're saying, it's like a little video of you and you are turning your lights on and you're like, hey everybody, I'm here at the shop today. We're open until 5. Come down, we'd like to see you. It's just a great way for you to put your business into people's minds for the day. And then they're thinking about House of Stitches and what they should get from there. You know, go visit Wendy. She's there till 5. It's in their head. Again, be yourself and be relatable. Those are my 3 things that I think are really important. And if you take anything out of this workshop today, it would be those 3 things. Keep it simple, keep it engaging, and just be yourself, because people really do want to see you. They want to see the face behind the business. They do want to see your products too. But lots of people, I follow people on Instagram who I don't really necessarily care about their business, but I like the people that are posting. They make it fun. And I often find myself searching for those people, even though I might not eat bread. I'm gluten-free. So maybe, but I'm still following a whole bunch of places that serve gluten just because they're fun and, you know, they make it engaging for me. So I think that's something to think about too. So this might be a little bit blurry. I hope not. So I recorded me going through into my Instagram on my mobile device to post something to my stories. So I'll try to kind of go through it as it's playing, or I might let it play once and then walk through it with you all after it's done. So just it might be a little bit blurry. I hope you guys can see it. Can you see it okay so far? Okay, let's see if it will work here. So again, I'll just let this play and then we can kind of go through it at the end. I just want you guys to all see. So now you'll see, yeah. Okay, so that was me posting 2 pictures to my stories. It didn't take me long. I just knew that I had to have the photos. So as long as you have the photos ready on your phone, it is really easy to just post them. That took me about 2 minutes to do that. So it really doesn't take a lot of time once you do get familiar with the platform. So I'll just play the video and tell you exactly what I did as I went, because this is something, this is probably the best way to engage with your customers and to get people to follow you, and be interested in your products. So I'll just hit play. I'll just hit play again here. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking up here. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna have to figure out how to pause it as I go. Okay, so I'm clicking up here at the top on the plus sign. This is the menu that comes up on my mobile device. I'm gonna hit create a story. So we're gonna click that. This is gonna open up my photos, which you can see my dad was over and we were playing guitar, and I have all of these things, but we're gonna select this one down here. This is us doing some work for our business, and I wanna make it interactive. So up here, you can see there's the big A and the little a. That's where you would click if you wanted to add some text to your Instagram story. This one here, the little sticker emoji, that's where we're gonna find those sort of interactive boxes, or if you wanted to find like a dancing person, that's where you would find it, and you can put them on your story. It's made to be really interactive and fun. So definitely let your personality come out in your stories. And then the rest we don't have to worry about for now, but these would be the 2 main ones. So I'm gonna click the sticker emoji, and this is what's gonna come up. It's gonna give me a whole bunch of different things, a question box, a poll box, a little slider, a quiz. These are things that you can definitely fiddle around with on your Instagram, just to get familiar with. But I'm gonna select the poll button, and I'm gonna ask people, just try to get them to be interactive. I like to be funny with these, and that's why I just kind of made it really light. Who loves having a friend with bobcat equipment? Originally on the left-hand side, I wanted to say that it's so much easier on my back, but these have character restrictions. So I had to be clever and come up with something a little bit different. So I said saves my back. And then on the other one, I like manual work. I don't know who would want to do manual work when you could have someone do it with bobcat, but it's interesting to see, because once you post this, you can actually go and look and see what people have selected on the poll. So, you can then share the results with your entire following after and say, what 30% of people or 70% of people said that they like manual work over, having someone else do it themselves. You can share those results with people, and it's just a fun way to be interactive. So, and then I'm just clicking down here where it says your story. I'm going to click that, and it's going to post it directly to my story. And now you'll see my icon. Whoops, I moved really fast. Now you'll see my icon is all lit up. So that means that story that I just posted is active and everybody can see it. So my 70 followers on this page can see it. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to hit the plus sign in the top right corner. I'm going to create another story here, and I'm going to select another image. This one was just some asparagus that I had growing in my garden. And I'm going to ask people if they like asparagus, just to be interactive. And I'm going to make them slide this little emoji on this bar. And then you can see if people really like asparagus or not. Maybe you're the only person who likes asparagus on Instagram, and now you know. So again, I'm just going to click my story, and now it's posted to here. So now I'm just going to go and watch my story back. So I'm going to click up here on my circle icon, And now you'll see, sorry, I moved really fast when I videoed this. Go back a little bit here. So here's my story. If you swipe up on your story, which I'm going to do right now, this is where it'll show you who's interacting. So it'll say Jessica only likes asparagus a little bit, and Maureen really loves asparagus. So you can see those reactions, and then it'll create an average, and you can share that with your followers if you want to. But again, even if you don't really do anything with it, if you just look at it and kind of see that people like to interact with those things, that's all you need to do. You don't need to necessarily share it with your followers. Maybe you're asking a question. Do people want you to be open late on Thursday night or Friday night? And that's a way for you to maybe gauge if you feel like your the people who come into your shop are following you on Instagram. So as easy as it was to put those up, it's just as easy for me to go back in, click on my little circle here, and click the more button. I'm just gonna go back a little bit here. So I'm gonna delete them now. I don't want them. I've decided maybe I don't like them, or I made a spelling error, or moments past, the sale's over. Down here, there's a little more button. I'm just gonna click that, and then I'm going to delete this post and hit delete again, and then it's gone. And so I'm going to do that for both of those posts that I made. So just as easy as it is for you to put something up, it is just as easy for you to take it down. So you don't have to be too worried about that. If you make a spelling error or something that you didn't like, you can just go and delete it. And that's the same. That goes the same for the photos that you've posted down here on your profile page. You can easily go and delete those. It's really not, the end of the world. So just keep that in mind. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're kind of okay. Moving over. Okay, so the last part that I just want to touch on is something that we all forget about. Just like at the beginning, I put the little asterisk beside the free sign or saying that this platform is free. Use Instagram, but make it manageable. Like, don't go and try to do more than what you have time for. It's important, and I will say this to everybody who has an Instagram: keep your Instagram updated. If you're going to have an Instagram, just keep it updated. There's nothing worse than having an Instagram for your business, and then the last post is from 2016 and the business number is outdated, because that implies that maybe you're not open, things like that. So it's really important to keep it updated. So like I said, this is a free platform, but your time is not free. Your time is worth a lot. And so while it is important to keep it updated, it doesn't mean that you have to post every single day or even every single week. I think it's important to create a schedule so that you know what days you're going to post. So maybe you just want to post your day that you have time, and you're going to grab your cup of coffee and you're going to go and you're going to post on your Instagram feed for the morning. And then maybe you're going to take a selfie of you drinking your coffee and post it in your stories and say, hey, we're open today until 5, and maybe you do that on Tuesdays. That's something, just create a schedule that works for yourself. And what I used to do with my full-time job at the Station Arts, I did the social media for them up until I left. In my day planner, every Monday, I would say schedule or plan out the content for the week. So then I knew exactly what I was going to post. On Instagram, you can't necessarily schedule. On Facebook, you can. But if you had it ready to go, you're going to have a sale on Thursday. So you have something created that says 70% off this Thursday, and maybe you want to post that on Tuesday. So you're kind of getting people prepared for the sale, letting them know that it's going to happen so that they can make arrangements, make sure they have time to come to your shop. That's something that I think makes Instagram a little bit more manageable, is if you just carve out some time to make the posts, and don't feel, like I said, like you have to post every day. You'll see businesses on Facebook or Instagram that post every day. They post to their feed every day. They make videos, they make reels, they make stories. They do all of these things, but they have someone hired to do that. And that's really important to remember. We are usually small business. It's just us, maybe one other person. So keep it manageable and do what works for yourself. And keep your content all in one place. I use my Google Drive a lot. Or whether it's a folder on your desktop or just having it in your photos on your phone, then you have your photo ready to go and ready to post at any time when you find yourself having a little bit of downtime. This is something you can think about for future, but there are third-party sites to make things easier. So you can look into something like Canva. I'm not sure if anybody uses that already. It is a free platform as well, but you can use that to make posters. You can use that to make pretty much anything. They do have some Instagram templates on their site. So you could just switch out your information or their information for your information, save it and post it to your feed if you really wanted to. There's things like Linktree and other stuff, but Canva is a good one to look into to help create some really aesthetically pleasing third party or aesthetically pleasing posts, sorry. And don't forget to have fun, because this is not, like, you don't want it to feel like a huge commitment. This is lighting my face up all orange and purple and red, but this is something that reflects you and your business. So don't feel like it's something that you have to do if you're not interested in doing it. But remember, if you do choose to do it, to have fun with it, because people are on Instagram to connect and to find new businesses and find new things. And just important to have fun. That's all I have for today. Sorry, I kind of got rushed at the end, but I'm open to questions, and I hope that that helped a little bit.
I think that was awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Josie?
I loved how interactive that was, Josie. That would have been hard for you with the mobile app, but you did a great job.
Thanks. Yes, I'm not someone who's really into PowerPoint presentations. I find that they can sometimes be hard to make interactive, but I tried my best, so thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked your presentation as well. For one thing, you used your actual Instagram, showed us actually posting to your Instagram so that we could look at your Instagram on our own phones if we wanted to while you were doing it. And then you deleted everything. I thought that was awesome, because Instagram for me has been such a tremendous challenge. I really stink at it. And so this was really helpful. And to find out that those boxes, you could actually do a poll. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, wow, what a thought.
Good. I'm glad. Thank you so much for your feedback. I think that the stories are a really good place to start. It does make it easy. It makes it interactive. And it's fun to do. It's fun to go back and look and say, hey, you know what, maybe only 10 people watched my story, but then, next week, maybe you've gained a bit more followers, and then more people are watching and more people are interactive, and you can kind of see it grow that way. And it's also nice to know that people are actually seeing your content. Sometimes you just put it out there and you're like, is anybody seeing this, or am I getting through to anybody? So it's kind of nice that way. Wendy, I think you were going to say something.
Yeah, I'm quite confused. I have an account with me on it.
Okay.
And I apparently have 2 House of Stitches accounts.
Okay.
But I don't, are they connected? Like I can't see my House of Stitches ones on mine. I have to search for my House of Stitches ones. Is that right?
I see. It sounds like maybe it's set up a little bit complicated. I could look for you and just see what it looks like on this end. And then if you wanted,
Because
I can
there's
either give you
one
my,
HAUS.stitches. And then there's HAUS of stitches. The second one
okay.
doesn't have a picture. So this is probably what happens when more than one child helped you to do something.
And that's often the case. I've helped lots of people with their Instagram who had started one and then forgot that they started it or couldn't remember the password, so they just started another one. But I think it's important that you get that other one deleted and then kind of move forward with your new one so that it's less confusing for you in the future. And you know, this is the one that you're supposed to use.
So what happens to the one you delete with the followers on it? They just disappear.
Yeah, they do. What you could do is go on with your new account and look at the followers on the old account and then follow them all in hopes that they will follow your new account.
Right.
So that might sound a little bit complicated. It's not as complicated as it sounds, but you just would want to make sure that you're only using one of the accounts.
So unlike Facebook, my personal Instagram isn't connected to my business one. Is that true?
That was my question too.
So you can create just a business account, and that's totally fine. Lots of people. So for me, for example, I have my personal one, and then I can easily access my business one, the station one, and then I manage a few others, so I can easily access them from my personal Instagram. But if you are just starting an Instagram for yourself, you don't necessarily need to have a personal profile. You can just have a business profile.
So it's unlike Facebook, because Facebook, there you have to have your personal before you can have your business page, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I could,
yeah, Facebook
is different. So I could, so I'm trying to get this Instagram in my head too. So I don't have an Instagram for like Sage Hill, and I don't have one for my husband's business, but I could just open them randomly, each one of them their separate account, and nothing has to be tied to me.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
The only reason you would ever want that is if for some reason you're like, hey, I'm gonna go on Instagram and post photos of my lunch for everybody to see, and then you want to have them so you can access those other two, but it would be at this point, yeah, it wouldn't be necessary. You could start up two separate accounts. All you need is your Sage Hill email and then your husband's business email, and then you can start up two separate accounts, and away you go.
How do I find out where those accounts are and what I should do with them?
So I'm wondering, Wendy, maybe I could reach out to you if you wanted, and I could just kind of help you get that sorted out if you wanted.
Okay,
After this.
yeah, well, I should
Would that work?
get out, yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely be willing to help you out with that if you wanted. I think Kate had her hand raised.
I was gonna say, I see a hand up. I'm just trying to see, was it Kate?
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I think the first time got missed, so I just re-raised it. I'm curious about how you actually find followers that are relevant to your marketing field or your business.
Sure, that's a really good question. You know what? I'm going to actually just share my screen here again.
Oh,
Do you need?
Sorry, I was muted. Okay, I'll start over. Good question. I think we're just at the time, but is that okay if we go over a little bit?
I think if that's okay with everybody, certainly.
yeah.
Sure. So I'll just share again here my Instagram. Because I think it is a good good question. So here's my feed that my Instagram feed for my profile. A way to find new followers is if you go up here into the search bar and maybe you typed in Rosthern. That's where I'm located. So I'm just going to type in Rosthern and oops, did not want to do that. Down here, you'll see, well, here are all the Ross accounts that have Rosthern in the name, but here is the Rosthern geotag. So if I go there, I can see all of the people who have posted that they're in Rosthern. So I'm like, on here, this is a good way to do it. I searched, I'm like, oh, this is an ice cream shop. This is in my community. I'm gonna go to their page here and I'm gonna follow them. I'm already following them. So that kind of is a difficult one. Let's see here. I can go here. Oh, look, this is Saskatchewander. I know they come to Rosthern. I'm just going to follow them. You know, that's a way that you can search depending on what you're looking for. Usually it's kind of people in your area that you want to follow and then kind of expand from there, like-minded businesses. It's a good way for you to kind of see what they're posting, what they're up to. Maybe you can kind of take some of those ideas and apply them to your Instagram. Just, you know, if you sell pottery and you see a potter, you might want to follow them. If I'm a gift shop, I want to follow all of the local people. This is kind of how you'd want to do it. Here's a girl throwing up snow in the air. She was in Rosthern. I don't know if she's from Rosthern, but you know what? I'm going to follow her, you know, and I can kind of keep doing that as I go. Looking here, oh, Austin Reimer Real Estate. Oh, I see his signs around town. You know, I'm going to follow him too. So I can kind of just do that. It does take some time. And, you know, in my slideshow, I don't know if I actually talked about it too much, but there was a little snippet about kind of carving out that time. So maybe on the day when you plan to make your social media posts, like your Instagram posts, you say, hey, I'm going to go and follow 10 new people today, and then hope that they'll follow you back. And, you know, you can kind of just keep going at that. Another thing would be here. This is a flower shop in Rosthern called Meadow Rose. So I could go to their profile and look at their followers. And if I wanted to, I could start following, you know, some people. If they're like the same audience as me, I could do that. Like, oh, here, these people are from Rosthern. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna follow them and keep going. Those are a few ways. I'm trying to think there was one more I was just gonna mention. Of course, to gain followers, you could always do a contest or something like that. But that's something for, you know, maybe once you've gotten a few posts on your Instagram and your Instagram set up and running fully, then you would maybe want to try something like that. But I think those are two good ways to start. Does that help, Kate?
You'll also get some recommendations too.
Yes, exactly. So especially on your desktop, it's really easy to see the recommendations. Here on the side, it says suggestions for you. So I can say, see all, and then here's a whole bunch of people that Instagram has recommended for me. So if I really wanted to, I could just go and follow them all. And worst case scenario, they don't follow you and you start following them and you see them popping up on your timeline. So here, if I didn't mean to follow like Wilson's Lifestyle and I don't want to see their content anymore, I can just click on their page and then I can go here and hit unfollow. So it's just a matter of taking some time to really get to know the platform. And I think the best way to do it is to set up your profile, then post your first, or, you know, post to your feed down here, and then post in your stories, and then just get comfortable, you know, spend an hour every day just looking and and kind of getting comfortable with the platform.
That was awesome. I think
Yeah.
I think that was, and I think our plan is to have Josie back, right?
Yes.
Jessica, towards the end of March, if it works for her, and if she's going to come back, she'll come back and we'll do a little bit more. A little bit of the advanced stuff. So this was awesome. I'd like to thank everybody today. We're back on January 11th with all about photos part 2. We did a photos last year, and we're going to do a photos again, which we can see with Instagram. Very important to have those good photos. So we're going to build on that. I just like to thank everybody and thank Josie for joining us today. And the video will be posted on our Instagram page so that you can rewatch it. So that, you know, if you've got any questions, it's there. So have a great afternoon, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Did you stop the
I was
recording,
just
Jessica?
gonna
Let me do that.